Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back from the ad break. You are still watching Prime Live. Now, this evening, we welcome Botshelo Mthomboti, who is a young, dynamic, and multi talented individual at the tender age of 23, who has already achieved so much, graduating in a degree in financial management, publishing 4 books, and running her own company called Poetic Finance Books and Novels. Now, this is going to be a very interesting conversation because whenever we hear about book reviews or learning about books, we never really hear about accounting books or books that are focused on helping people in the that kind of a sector. But this is going to be quite motivational and inspirational, given that she's a young lady who is passionate about this specific career field. Thank you so much for joining us, Botshelo, and welcome to Prime Life.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And firstly, I would like to correct you a little bit. I have a diploma in financial management, not a degree.
Not a degree.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for correcting us on that regard. But just to start a little bit more about the book itself, before we actually speak about the book review, can you tell us exactly what or at what point in your life you realized that you were interested or passionate about the financial world?
I think just after varsity, just after high school, they were interviewing, I think it was a chartered accountant on the news, and I drew some inspiration from her. So yeah, that's when I realized that, what, this is my field, because now the lady's story was similar to mine. So I was like, I can relate to this. Let me give accounting a chance.
That's brilliant. Now, can you tell us about now the journey into writing the book? Why did you decide to write such a book? What gap did you see in the market that sparked the interest to actually write such a book?
Okay, so I realized that some of us come from families that don't have accountants, myself included. So there are so many things that I wish I knew before working as a WBE trainee accountant for a cyber firm, even though my journey is with, the chartered accountancy body. So I feel like if somebody sat me down and told me, the guidelines on how to, carry yourself as a WBE trainee accountant, I would really appreciate it. I don't want others to repeat the same mistakes that I made. And also, I mean, South Africa needs more chartered accountants, if not accountants. So I feel like this book will encourage as many learners as possible to venture into the accountancy industry.
That is amazing. And when it comes to you breaking into the industry, what challenges did you come across? And because with you sharing those challenges, you're obviously going to make it easy for those who are watching, who are aspiring, accountants or people that are already in the field and they don't know how to navigate certain things. So how did you navigate? How did you overcome those challenges?
Okay, so firstly, I have to emphasize that when I was writing this book, I was still, okay, I'm still a student. I was still studying Bachelor of Accounting Science in Financial Accounting with Junisa. So imagine doing your 9 to 5 type of a thing, then you have to come back and write a book. You have to submit that assignment for financial accounting, for taxation, for auditing. It wasn't easy at all. So I think this only emphasizes bravery. Another challenge that I encountered was, I had to sacrifice a lot of sleep because now I wasn't getting rest. You see, it's the 9 to 5 type of a thing. It's the writing. Now I need to submit those assignments. So it was a bit challenging. So yeah.
But you are here now and you're telling us this story, which means that you did manage to overcome it. And when it comes to challenges, it's not something that will stop or go away. It's about how you face them, like you mentioned, being strong and making sure that you know what you want. But I want us to speak about the journey of the books themselves. When was it published and how long did it take you to actually write these books?
Okay, so this book was published in February 2025 this year. So it's kind of like a recent thing. And it took me about 4 to 3 months to write it, because
Yeah.
writing a book is like the most sensitive thing ever. You have to provide people with accurate information, especially aspiring accountants, you know.
Yeah.
I'm welcoming them, I'm giving them a bit of an insight into what's it like to work for an accounting firm. And shout out to the accounting firm that gave me a chance, like a financial services. Yeah, they are the reason that I wrote this book.
And obviously writing a book, you have an intention behind it for those who are going to read it. What impact do you hope and it will have on the readers, and also how do you hope it will assist, the future accountants or aspiring accountants or even current accountants?
Um, I think this book will help aspiring chartered accountants by giving them um, a deep insight into what it's like to work for an accounting firm. Also, I think it'll inspire students, or rather learners, to venture into the accountancy industry. I mean, if somebody like myself, who grew up in a very dysfunctional family, you know, in a disadvantaged background, and here am I today standing with so many titles attached to my name. So I feel like this book will speak volumes to the young ones, and even seniors. You know, I've had seniors who've purchased this book and they recommend it for their trainees, trainee accountants, because it's giving you an insight. There are so many things, guys, that are attached to, you know, being a WBE trainee accountant. So many things. And we are unaware of those things. So I feel like this book will, you know, yeah.
Okay, definitely. So, and then, if I'm not mistaken, you did mention that you are someone that's still currently studying and working at the same time, and obviously managing. I think if you've written a book like this, obviously you've now introduced yourself in the market as someone that mentors or teaches people on how to, maneuver and navigate the industry. So this is something that people will always be expecting from you. So now managing your studies, your work, your personal life, and this person that inspires other people to in the similar field. What motivates you? What is your why, or what makes you always, to keep pushing, because there are obviously hurdles here and there, potholes every now and there, and you need to be able to stay strong and resilient. So, what motivates you to keep going?
My background is my why. I grew up in a very dysfunctional family. You know, I was raised by a single mother. Shout out to Mrs. Botshelo Mthomboti for raising this brilliant accountant. Anyway, my background is my why. I know where I come from. You know, coming from a very poverty-stricken household, and you are the only one who has the key to this success thing through education. So I feel like that is my main reason. I mean, I don't want my future generations to experience what I experience, which is why I started my own company, which is a bookstore. And allow me to add, guys, two of my books have been approved by the Department of Basic Education. So I feel like we are getting somewhere, because Botshelo's craft is out there. Botshelo's craft is known in the UK. Botshelo's craft is known in Nigeria. Botshelo's craft is known in America through a retired mathematician, Professor Groundley, who once taught at the University of Oklahoma. So my background is my why. My mother is my why.
Oh, I mean, that is so inspirational. I can see the passion that comes from your why. And I hope those who are watching can take a lesson in what you just said, to say your background or your story of how you were brought up and everything isn't your final stop. You can definitely make something out of the life that you didn't choose for yourself, but you found yourself in, and you have the choice to make sure that those who are coming after you have a better start at life. And let's speak about what we can expect from you. Obviously, you're still very young, and we're seeing the passion and all the beautiful things that are attached to your name. And we want to obviously see you go further, and we want to hear you in bigger international stages, and we want to see you making impact in this field. What can we expect from you in the coming years?
You can expect a chartered accountant. You can expect a young lady who will have plus minus 20 books attached to her name. You know, I'm in the academia space. You know, I feel like as I'm progressing in life, I need to share my knowledge with others. You can expect a poetry economics book, which is something that has never been done before. I mean, if I could write a poetry pure maths book and a poetry accounting book, so I feel like that's nothing for me. You can expect my company to grow as well, poetic finance books and novels. Um, we will be hiring people at some point, I believe, because, you know, great things start small, you know. You can expect, yeah, just the Mthomboti Foundation. I want to give back to the economy, or rather society, through, you know, it could be me donating books so that learners venture into the accountancy industry and the mathematical industry. So you can expect, it's a lot, guys. It's really a lot. It's endless. The list is endless.
Definitely. And now, as we bring our conversation to the end, what advice would you give to youngsters who are interested in pursuing a career in accounting, finance? What would you like to say to them?
The first thing I would like to say to them is that you can do it. Accounting has always been viewed as an intimidating subject, or rather field to venture into. So I wasn't an A student. I've always been an average student. But here am I today. I got a diploma in financial management. I'm taking the chartered accountancy journey, you know, and I have 4 books attached to my name. Even, you know, maybe let's say 6, because I'm about to publish 2 of my books. So you can do it. This field can be for you if you put your mind to it. Don't let your background define you. Yes, when you get into an accounting firm, you'll be intimidated, because you'll see, not intimidated, rather inspired, because you'll see your seniors, you know, driving awesome cars. You'll get there as well if you put your mind to it. So yeah, just don't pressure yourself too much at work. Be bold, walk tall, get involved in intellectual conversations, um, and study, guys. Accounting is hard, I know. Challenging, not hard. Study, you will make it. And don't forget to pray. That's the main thing. God took me from nothing to something. This should be proof that hard work will never betray you. Yeah.
I mean, thank you so much, Botshelo, for just, you know, giving us your journey, your story. I know we couldn't sum up everything in one, but definitely I think there's a lot of inspiration that came out from this conversation, and we definitely see the passion coming through. So we will be checking in after those years, seeing if you did become the chartered accountant, and we did see the 20 plus books that you were talking about, and wish you nothing but the best in this beautiful journey.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me. I hope the viewers will be convinced to venture into the accountancy journey. We need you guys. We need you.
Most definitely. Viewers at home, that was Botshelo Mthomboti, who is a young, dynamic, and multi-talented individual. I mean, her story is that of resilience, hard work, and passion. And I hope this left you feeling inspired. Like she said, we need people in this specific field, but we do also have her books, which are a manual for you to know how to navigate and find your way in the accounting, or rather the financial sector. But without wasting any time, it's time for us to head over to a quick break. We'll see you after.